All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here today with a very special guest for Split Peak Soup, podcast number 2, Lanny Headrick, master wood shop creationist, and just all around amazing dude. How you going, Lanny?
Going well, present.
Yes, sir. Very much so. You have a very calming presence about you as well. Just thought I'd add that. So thank you for being here and calming me down because I'm a little nervous.
Oh, don't be nervous, Neil. I just want to say I'm honored. Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah,
Seriously.
thank you. Sweet. My pleasure.
Yeah.
All right. So let's just get the ball rolling here. I want to allow you the opportunity to introduce yourself and just, in a nutshell, tell me about who you are.
So, my name's Lanny. I'm 53, and I'm a cardiac nurse for my professional life, and I'd like to just call myself a maker, right? Like I do woodworking, but that's only part of it. I also like to take photos. I like to make anything with my hands. So, I guess maker is like the best description I can use.
That's a good one.
But husband, father,
Right. Cool.
just trying to find joy in my life. That's the goal, right? It's my mission statement for my little woodworking business: promote joy. And
Right.
It starts here with me. So
That's great.
yeah.
I love that. And so, yeah, just tell me, you've got a wife and you've got some children?
I have one 6-year-old daughter. She's the most amazing person I've ever met in my life.
Rad.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And where did you meet your wife?
We met in Costa Rica.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very cool. Is she Latina?
No.
Okay.
She's from Santa Cruz. I had to go all the way to Central America to meet a nice Santa Cruz girl.
Rad. Classic.
Yeah. I went as my friend Amy Joy Nitzberg, who started Pleasure Point Yoga.
Right. Yeah, I know Amy.
She invited me to go down for her first yoga retreat down there in Costa Rica to document it as the photographer.
Okay.
And my wife was one of the yogis.
Nice.
Yeah.
And part of the package, were you able to kind of sit in with all the yoga?
Oh, yeah, I got to take classes and go on I was part of the retreat. I just documented it. So
Okay.
It was a epic experience. We ended up going the next year and the year after that as well.
Wow.
And, we ended up getting married a year to the day on the same beach.
Wow.
And Amy married us. It was really special.
Wow, that's so cool.
We eloped.
Yeah. Yeah. Those yoga retreats are something else. It's, you basically show up and you've got these people facilitating it and you just get to immerse yourself. I did it in Mexico in 2019 and just being away from Santa Cruz and being in the warmth and having everything catered with all the food and just meeting amazing people who are really ready to be vulnerable and let their guard down.
I have goosebumps thinking, look at, I'm growing hair.
Yeah.
Thinking about it because you can really check out.
Yes.
And just you check in, right? More than check out. You're
Right.
checking in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you're checking out to check in.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And do you mind me asking what your wife does?
Right now, she is a full-time mom.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, that's the hardest job in the world.
We're lucky enough to be able to do that. The thought of putting our daughter in daycare or a babysitter or some type of like situation like that is leaves me feeling uneasy.
Yeah.
I really feel grateful to have the situation where my wife and daughter can bond 100% of the time and we don't have to worry.
Yeah. Well, that's unreal. I mean, especially in these times, they're so tough just with the economy and living, in the area where, just to get the basic needs met and then to be able to afford the child care and that's and with someone else.
I'm a product of that, being shuffled from babysitter to babysitter, having both parents work my whole childhood, and I don't want that for Nora. Yeah, it's my daughter.
Right. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, what a gift that your guys are giving them, and you know, let's talk about. Let's just talk about your youth growing up here. You grew up on which side of town?
I'm actually not from Santa Cruz.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh wow.
I trannied here
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. Cool.
in '99.
Okay.
So I've been
Oh
here
wow.
for a good chunk of time.
Oh wow.
But I moved here in November '99 from Wyoming.
Oh
But
sweet.
moved all over California too. Like we moved a lot. I think I went to 4 different high schools, 3 different junior highs, and like 2 or 3 elementary schools. Like
Okay.
moved a lot.
Wow.
So,
And how was it growing up in Wyoming? I'm assuming it's a
Well,
lot different than this.
So I spent my early 20s in Wyoming in Jackson Hole, and it was unbelievable.
Okay.
It was amazing. I feel
Yeah.
like I really got it before it morphed into this billionaire playground.
Mm-hmm.
Like literally, there's, I think the oligarchs live there.
Right.
They have homes there.
Sure.
But the ski resort is one of the tallest in the nation, and they have really light powder, and that's what I did all winter. I just, the summertime I'd work, save up for a ski pass, and I just was snowboarding,
Yeah.
hiking, and in the summertime, hiking, camping, playing in
Sick.
the river, living,
Very nice.
bartending, cooking, whatever I could do to make money so I could play in the mountains.
Yeah.
And I honestly, like, I could have gone to college when I was younger, but I told myself, and I'm kind of regretting it now, I told myself that I was going to retire first and just play. And I did. Like, can I cuss on this?
Oh yeah.
I
Fuck yeah.
fucked off so hard through my whole 20s that I'm kind of paying for it now a little bit by having to work really hard
Yeah.
to get the things that like responsible 20-year-olds start doing after high school. They go to college, they get their degree, they buy a home, they get married, they have a family. I chose to do that in my 50s.
Yeah. Well, better late than never.
Yeah, a little late to the party, but I have a lot of good experiences under my belt for doing that too.
Yeah.
Where I think a lot of people end up getting to be older and they're like, where did my 20s go? Where did my 30s go?
Yeah.
I didn't do much
Right.
except work
Mm-hmm.
to pay this mortgage.
Yeah. And that just brings me kind of back to where I first met you. We were working at the Crow's Nest together, and that what a wild time that was. I was just a busboy, but it just was simple times. Walking home with tip money in your pocket, probably enough to support you at that time. Was that all you were doing at that time?
I feel like I was living tip to tip, and I can remember times where I didn't have rent money, but the tips came through at the last minute,
Yeah.
and I didn't even care. Like, all I wanted to do was go surfing, and go skateboarding.
Totally. Yeah.
There was no nobody relying on me.
Yeah.
So,
And
that was like cell phones were only around for like 5 years or something when I worked there.
right.
And it was just really simple times, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like super simple times.
Yeah.
But compared to now,
And a love-hate relationship working at a restaurant. What was your favorite part about serving tables, and what was your least favorite part?
I think back on it, the stress of it was kind of non-existent, right? Like the stress was maybe somebody being upset over something that they shouldn't be, like a side of mayonnaise.
Right.
Not coming on time,
Yeah.
or like a overcooked or undercooked steak or whatever. But I liked the freedom of it. You could play all day and come to work, and you're working with your friends, and it's easy.
Yeah.
It's easy.
Bunch of
Now-
good-looking girls running around
Yeah,
there
yeah,
too. That's
that
never
did-
bad.
That didn't hurt
Yeah.
at all. But like in comparison to now, with the consequences of my current job, where I could actually hurt somebody working at the hospital,
Yeah.
versus the consequences back at the restaurant, it's like
Yeah.
it's nothing. And I remember that, like when I was going to nursing school and working there at the same time, and then really realizing how insignificant the upset at the restaurant was compared to what was happening at the hospital.
Right. Yeah, that's
Yeah. Yeah.
a big gap there. And
Yeah. But you know what? That was a killer job. They had health insurance, they had good tips. Like they really took care of their employees there.
yeah, I loved working at the Crow's Nest.
Yeah.
Just real cool environment. You know, Kevin Rafferty is over there bartending. Like I said, yeah, tons of hot gals
How
working
about
there and coming in. My head would spin like The Exorcist.
how about when the harbor's firing and you're out there working and you can just look out the window and watch people getting barreled? It's like really unbelievable, you know?
Yeah. Well, you know, definitely if you have that mindset, but if you're working that day and you can't join them, that'd be a little, you know, it's a little nerve wracking, but
Yeah.
yeah, you know, whatever. It's better than nothing, right?
Yeah,
Better than
yeah.
going in and digging a ditch or something in Watsonville, you know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
very, very cool. So talking about that difference. So now the role that you're in, you're a cardiac nurse. That
Yeah.
must be a lot of responsibility, but probably really fulfilling. How did you get into that?
I specifically remember having a discussion with myself where I asked myself, do you want to be a 50-year-old bartender? And the answer was no, because I was approaching 30 at the time, and I really was kind of panicking, right? Because life wasn't getting cheaper and whatnot. So I'd seen family members and friends who became nurses and how it benefited their lives. I wasn't even considering the contribution that I would be making to our community.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That wasn't even a thought because I didn't realize it. And
Right.
now that I'm in it, it's big. It's big.
Yeah.
It's doing big work.
Yeah,
And,
definitely.
I feel lucky to have. I don't want to say I stumbled on it because I made the decision to do it, but like I said, I didn't realize the depth of it. So
Right.
yeah. But
And yeah,
and you want to know what work is for me? Have you seen Severance? That show Severance.
I got in probably about 2 episodes in, and I don't know if I didn't wait for the punchline or for things to get good. I just got kind of a little lost interest a
But
little
you
bit.
know the premise of it, right? They have that procedure done, and when they go in the elevator, the bell dings, and then they forget what their life outside of work is, and all they know is work, and then the same thing happens.
Yeah.
That's what I do at work. The second I hit the hallway, I forget about work entirely. And then I go out and I live my life.
That's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, I have to. Otherwise, I'd be, I don't know, you got to have those protective mechanisms, you know?
Yeah, because you have to kind of insulate yourself from some of the more heavy type of situations that can probably weigh on your consciousness. I'm sure that it retreats somewhere into the bowels of your subconscious.
Sure. Yeah, there's people I work with, and that's their life is nursing, and they're not that happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of them don't seem. I don't know. They probably are happy. That's wrong for me to say that, but they appear like they take it on, like
Yeah.
they really take it on.
Right.
You know, and
Yeah.
kind of got to be like the Matrix, you know, just like dodging it.
Yeah, for sure.
Let it go past.
Yeah.
Yeah, that happened. It was super heavy. Thankfully, it wasn't me or my family, so I gotta it happens. Move on to the next situation, and
Well, especially because, you know, a cardiac event, that only kind of really pans out 2 ways.
well,
I mean, kind of.
yeah, it's not all just cardiac. Because you know, everything's married within your body, right? The lungs are married to the heart, the liver, and the kidneys. If you have problems with one system, you're gonna have a problem with another one. So we kind of see everything
Right.
on our unit.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not all doom and gloom.
Not all movie style heart attacks, but we do see a lot of cardiothoracic surgical patients, and you know, we get liver failure patients and kidney failure patients, and when one system's down, the other system's stressed, so they need support all over.
And do you think that, what do you think one thing that your biggest take home as far as taking good care of yourself throughout this life that we have that hits home hardest to you since you've been in this profession? Like, what do you prioritize after seeing everything you've seen?
That I need to take better care of myself. I'm not a good example. Yeah, I could do a lot better, especially now that I have, my family. I don't want to show it on myself, but I could do a better job.
Yes.
I used to take my health really seriously when I was younger, and now life is just so busy, and I for some reason have sort of put that on the back burner.
Right.
I don't know if that answered your question, but
Well, I mean, yeah.
I could definitely do better.
Right. Well, you know, the first step of changing something is admitting that you might have something to work on.
Yeah, doing it's the next thing. It's a challenging one.
So
When
we're
you're
starting today, Lanny.
Yeah, when you're set in your ways, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm kind of eternally working on dropping bad habits, and oh wow, it's spraying back up again, and all you can do is kind of just put your dukes back up and learn how to duck and weave around that one again.
Yeah, you're so lucky to be able to walk to surf.
Yeah,
And you also living in town, you can ride a bike,
it's amazing.
Where I live, it's pretty dangerous to ride a bike, I think.
Yeah, so you're up at Freedom.
I'm in Freedom, and
Yeah.
car culture's real out there. People drive really fast and reckless, it seems. Like,
Yeah.
you can hear them open up their engines, like kind of just past our house, it opens up into the country there, and they just fucking let it rip. And to ride my bike to work like I used to would probably take close to an hour, and it would be super dangerous.
Yeah. Well, I'd blow a gasket because people are driving. The neighborhood has changed here. People used to respect the kind of the slow goes it kind of approach to driving through a small neighborhood like this. And I feel like I'm the old man with the cane on the porch yelling like, slow the fuck down.
I do that too.
Yeah. And one time I did that. I'm like, hey, slow the fuck down. And then I heard this, and this guy like opens his car, and it was just like, this guy was a full tweaker, and he like had all these tools in the back of his car, and he's all, so want me to fucking break you, boy? And I was like, oh, I'm sorry, sir. I think you misunderstood me. That's not what I said.
I didn't say that.
Yeah, it was that guy, my dad. But yeah, I think that's, sometimes the art of letting go, and you're not going to be able to change everyone, and also recognizing that, sometimes I blow it too when I'm in a hurry. You never know what their story is, but it's it's one of those things.
My wife's really good at that, because I'll be the first one to pop off and be like, and say something road ragey in the car.
Yeah.
And she'll just be like, maybe they have an emergency.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Maybe they're most likely not, but in the off chance that they did, you'd feel horrible, so
Yeah.
oh well, but that's just the way it is. And another thing that I know that from my experience with you, seeing you at the skate parks and stuff like that, skating was a huge part of your life. When did you get your first skateboard?
I want to say I was 8.
Okay.
A plastic red board.
Nice.
And I don't even think it had urethane wheels. I think they were fucking clay wheels.
Wow,
it
cool.
was older board.
Right.
Back in, let's see, it was either 79 or 80.
Okay.
And I would just practice doing 360s in my garage.
Yeah. Radical.
Yeah. And then I didn't really get super serious about it until... No, it was right around there. I started getting obsessed with it. I got super obsessed with it.
It's about the time the bug bites.
Lived down in crazy stories. I lived down, not crazy, but it's interesting. I was down in Tustin is where we lived at the time, and my school had these concrete banks. And on the weekends, I would go up there with my childhood friend. We'd take our skateboards up there, and there was always these older guys like ripping these banks. And later on, when I was doing skateboard photography, I got to go on a Santa Cruz trip with the AMs and a couple other people. Like, the older pros were on that trip too. Justin Strubing was on it, Salva was on it, Jason Jesse, and we went to my elementary school, and I hadn't been there since I was a little kid.
Wow.
My mind was fucking blown, man.
Crazy.
It was wild. Walking through the halls there was like a time machine. But there was really 6 skate spots that I didn't know about, because skating like that didn't exist back then. You know, like we were looking at this banked picnic table. It was nighttime. We had to hop the fence and everything. It was, But yeah, I think when I was 8, I got my first board, and just, you know, group sports sucked for me.
Yeah.
Like, I did Little League for a year or two and fucking hated it.
Yeah,
Hated it.
likewise.
Especially moving so much, I didn't have the comfort of like having long-term friends, you know, like, you know, my nephew has played baseball for his whole life with the same guys, right? Like, they have camaraderie.
Right.
I was always the fucking new guy every school
Yeah.
I went to, you know?
Yeah.
So my skateboard was like a constant. It was the
Right.
one constant, the skateboard and the red curb, like all day. That's where I'll be.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
yeah, there was no skate parks.
That was my outlet too. You know, undiagnosed ADHD. I would just do 360s in the driveway all day, and it's hard to get bored when you're a kid doing that.
I probably have that too, by the way.
Probably, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I think it's probably a spectrum where all humans suffer from that to an extent.
Yeah.
You know, the verdict's out whether or not, you know, how real that affliction is. I know that they've, you know, established that it's something that people really do suffer from. But yeah, I think that finding just your outlet, maybe some kids who have it can't find their outlet. They didn't have that skateboard, or that, you know, that they didn't have access to art supplies or whatever it was.
I feel like a lot of it has to do with the school system and forcing kids to sit down and do shit they don't want to do.
Right.
And all of a sudden, it's like kids don't have impulse control. They don't have control over the fact that they want to be fucking playing with something versus learning what they're being forced to learn. So
Yeah.
that, I mean, yeah, oh, little Billy's got attention problems.
Yeah, of course he does. He's fucking sitting in a chair and you're talking about the Louisiana Purchase.
Right. Why don't you ask him what he wants to do and let him do that? And maybe,
Right.
Maybe he won't have that attention problem.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, there are schools, I don't know, is it Montessori schools where there's a different approach to teaching where they kind of, they let the kid show interest, and they, you know, they promote them learning about things that they like to do. So
Interest-based learning.
yeah.
And that's kind of what we're trying to do with our daughter.
Okay.
You know? And,
Yeah.
foster a childhood of joy.
That's
that way,
great.
Right? Like, we don't ever want to have her, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I'm just going to leave it at that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, maybe I'll speak for you if I, if I
Yeah.
can. I think that there's probably some things about structured education where, you know, it's good to learn some arithmetic and some writing skills and stuff like that. But, you know, I think maybe there could be a better balance to where they could do that also, but then maybe open up some more avenues for the kid to find their passions at an early age.
I honestly feel that the way that the world is right now, if people focused more on interest-based learning, that we would be a better society, because with AI, or A1 as the new education secretary called it, with AI and YouTube and all of the tools that are out there, and you've got this computer in your pocket that gives you every answer to every question.
Yeah.
Like,
you don't need to learn freaking cursive no more. Like,
if they stop rewriting history, we wouldn't have to worry about history. But I feel like, yeah, interest-based learning is the way to go.
that's badass.
Yeah.
And then just kind of circling back to, you know, as a skateboarder, tell me what it was like to move to a place with so much skateboard history and legends as Santa Cruz.
Yeah. Mind-blowing.
Yeah.
Mind-blowing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, you know, I really didn't even see very much of that. When I moved here for the first 10 years, I kind of just skated at the same spot every day. And but then as I was getting older, I mean, I followed skate culture very closely, right? Subscriptions to the magazines, always watching the current videos online. I still do that.
Right.
But when I was getting older, I had this point where I was like, okay, I've got less days of skating in front of me than I do behind me. How can I get closer to this sport? And I rediscovered photography and went, okay, well, I'm going to take pictures of my friends.
Yeah.
And it worked. It worked until it didn't.
Yeah.
Until I made the decision that I wanted to focus on other things.
Yeah.
I think it's a young man's thing too, right?
Sure.
Like, you can get into it as you're older, but honestly, like if you wanted to be a photographer that is in the van on tour all the time, taking pictures of the best skateboarders in the world, a lot of those guys are living in hotels, they're sleeping on floors, they're eating shitty food.
Yeah.
And it's really not a healthy lifestyle.
Right.
There's a lot of partying going on too.
Totally. Yeah.
So that's why I feel like you see a lot of the people pass away, right? Like Jake Phelps.
Right. Yeah.
There's more Peace Stone, but that was a car accident.
Sure.
But it was out of his, but it's part of the lifestyle.
Well,
right?
he was living a
that-
pretty reckless lifestyle.
That accident came from the lifestyle.
Right.
So, it's very much like a live fast, die young vibe, and which is super sick for the sport and the culture. But as you get older, if you have any sense of self-preservation,
Yeah.
it's not like you can be like, hey, in the van, pull over to the health food store over here because I don't want to eat the 7-Eleven.
I gotta meditate. I gotta stretch. Hold on, guys.
The beef stick or whatever, like
Put the bong down. It hurts my lungs.
so, but yeah. I
Oh,
kind
that's
of
cool.
lost my train of thought there, but
That's okay. I'll pick it up for you. So just transitioning. Let's talk about your love for working with wood. When did that become a thing for you?
so I've always made stuff, right? And a lot of that was with wood, but really it came from me wanting to make my own picture frames for my images that I took.
Okay.
And then making some really shitty frames, like
Yeah.
shitty,
Right.
Neil, like shitty frames, big gaps in the 45 angles, and then still gluing them together and showing them at art shows.
Yeah.
But it came from that, from wanting to make picture frames, and then refining the work. And every time I would make something, I'd say to myself, okay, I need to figure out how to do this better. And then it grew, and then it was like, oh, wait a second, there's more out there than just mahogany and black walnut. And it turned from a love of woodworking that grew into like this crazy obsession to, well, now there's a whole world of wood out there that I need to find.
Yeah.
That I need to source
Right.
and find. And then that turned into, well, now I found this piece of wood and turned it into this sculpture. Like I've never felt closer to anything I've made before in my life.
Right.
It's crazy.
Yeah. It could
It's
be
Pandora's box, dude. It's like
Right.
fucking never ending.
Yeah. Well, yeah, the world is vast, and plants, trees in particular, are one of the most diverse things out there. So what wood did you start working with? And then it's kind of like leveling up, I would assume, to start working with more exotic woods.
Yeah.
Well, tell me a little bit about that process and
So
where you're at now.
actually, you know what, Neil? It wasn't picture frames that started it. It was skateboarding. I was making my own skateboards.
Oh, wow.
I was making wave checkers, like
Yeah.
old school shapes.
Right.
No rocker, no concave.
Yeah.
And shaping them off of a Bane. I had an old Bane skateboard, and that's what I was doing. But I was making them out of eucalyptus, which is a eucalyptus hybrid that they sell over here at Aura Hardwoods.
Okay.
Right off of Bromer.
Yeah.
Over here.
Right.
And so that was one of the first woods that I started working with. It's beautiful. It's kind of reddish brown with blonde ribbons that run through it. And then from there, it was I was gifted a nice big 2-inch thick block of mahogany, and so I was using this mahogany and walnut.
Okay.
And those pieces were the first wooden robot that I made.
Okay. Sweet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's a perfect segue to talk about your wooden robots.
Segway.
Well, hey, we've got one right here, and you know what? I think I told you, but this is probably the most thoughtful gift I've ever gotten. Just
Well,
as far as stoke value, and just because all the time that went into it, and just the uniqueness of it, and
he's gonna stare at you while you
hey,
talk about him.
all right, hey buddy, yeah, and
You're gonna
so
tighten it up.
yeah, it's such a whimsical and joy-inducing thing to have around. And how did that start? Was it just something that you saw it in your mind, or did you just screw around
So
and kind of put it together?
Brian asked me the same question, and I'll sort of skim the surface on it. I don't want to go too deep into it, but something happened that it really affected my wife and people around us. And I wanted to make a piece of art that made people feel better when they looked at it.
Right.
And that was it. I was at work and I had a little bit of downtime, and I sketched this little wooden robot, and I was like, this is what I'm going to make. Right? Like I drew out how the components were going to fit together, how I needed to cut them, kind of made like a little blueprint.
Right.
And then went home and made it over the weekend, and took pictures of it with my camera, like high quality pictures. And I posted it on Instagram, and people freaked out over it. Like all of my friends here in town, sometimes you'll post a picture on social media and you might get some likes and not much feedback on it. But I think I had like a couple hundred comments on it. Like
Wow.
people were really vibing on it.
Yes.
And I said to myself, this fucking works, Like it worked.
Right.
People feel better just by looking at it.
Yeah.
And then Tyler Fox contacted me through Santa Cruz Waves, and kind of did the same thing that you did, right? And said, hey, we want to feature your work. And funny thing, at the time I was making like a ton of different things: wooden surfboards, different decorative fins, boxes for various things. And I submitted all these different photos, and I think I gave him like 6 pictures of that wooden robot, and that's what he ran with. Was like he did a fin, and then a couple other things, and all these pictures of the robots, like a couple full page spreads of just the robot.
Yeah.
And that like kickstarted me into evolving them into what is in front of us here with the epoxy and different woods and
Yeah.
inlay, figured woods,
Right.
burl wood, and
Yeah.
but
Well, let's kind of just, for the people listening at home, you might not be able to really understand what we're saying, but they're these robots that they're on a base, and they're jointed robots, and they've got a number of different types of woods. I'm speaking for Lanny right now, but and it's got this really cool part in the middle where there's a resin, I'm assuming, component to it with, are those daffodils?
those are called straw flowers.
Straw flowers that are embedded in there, and then just going up,
They're actual. They have another name which I really like, is winged everlasting.
Okay.
I think it's a beautiful name. But the robots have not to cut you off.
No, dude, I was just kind of just.
But they have a humanoid shape.
Yes.
Right? Like I tried to do the same figure as a human body, and I think that's why people relate to it, right? They kind of have a CP3O?
C3PO.
C3PO vibe. Like
C3PO, human cyborg relations.
Yeah, he had a human body, right? Sometimes I'll pose and I'll be like, "God, you look just like that fucking robot."
Yeah, right.
But they're different though. But,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then going up onto the head, there's some big eyes, and it looks like, is that abalone?
That's mother of pearl.
Okay.
And cholla cactus. I'll steam bend flat, because cholla cactus comes in a tube.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, I'll have to steam it and flatten it. It's what I love about them is I can incorporate a lot of different techniques that I've learned. Right? Like I've made ukuleles, so there's luthier techniques in here with the inlays and steam bending. I learned from building wooden surfboards.
Right.
Yeah. This is maple that I harvested myself and then stabilized through a knife making technique.
Wow.
Right? They'll stabilize the wood for the handles so it becomes impermeable to moisture and also movement with different changes in humidity.
Okay.
So it'll never change and it'll always just be what it is.
Right.
And the head here is black box burl that my friend Pete in Australia harvested.
Right.
Yeah, it's cool. If I don't find the wood myself, if somebody close to me has found it, it still feels just as close. It's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's wild.
Well, yeah, let's just touch on that. And just before I say that is these things, if you can't see in the podcast on the YouTube, you will be able to see, but it's just amazing the juxtaposition of different woods and different materials. It's truly like a very fine piece of artwork here.
Thank you.
Yeah, and so where do you source your materials?
Can I do a quick plug for the website so people
Please
can
do.
go and see that?
Yeah.
So it's sawdustimagery.com.
Okay.
And that's my handle on social media too.
Right.
So if you don't go to the website, I'm on all the other socials.
Right.
Sawdust Imagery.
Yeah.
But where do I source my material? It just depends. But I'm always looking at this spot near my house where the loggers will drop freshly cut trees.
Okay.
And like today, I stopped and there was all that eucalyptus, and I cut a whole bunch of figured eucalyptus. It's in my truck.
Yeah.
And I'm sawdusty and sweaty from it. But yeah, I like to use salvaged materials. So if I can rescue it from turning into sawdust on the side of the road or on the beach, I kind of feel like I've done it a service.
Right.
Well, I mean, it all has its purpose, right? The earth needs it to go back to it. But if I can rescue a beautifully figured piece of wood and turn it into art, it kind of feels, I don't know.
Well, you're brightening someone else's day. Whoever gets this robot, the joy that they could have this their entire life.
Yeah, yeah. That's why I've taken the time to stabilize the material so that it can be an heirloom piece, be passed on. Right. They'll outlive me, that's for sure. Yeah. If they're taken care of.
Totally.
Yeah, and like I said, the mission statement for me is promote joy. So if one piece I've made makes people feel better, then I am stoked. Yeah. And like I said before, I in the article that you wrote, it's really a selfish thing that I'm doing because I'm finding the most joy out of it. Yeah. Like that's what I do. That's why I do it, is because it makes me really fucking happy. Like really happy.
Yeah. Well, it translates into the work, and that joy is infectious, and I think that it also shows through. You've got a really awesome presence on your social media and the videos that you do with your voiceovers and stuff like that. It sounds like the woodworkers Bob Ross kind of, just this soothing voice, and
that's what people tell me.
Ooh, that's pretty. This is the right upper arm of a wooden robot that I'm making right now. That is abalone wrapped in brass. This is redwood burl that I harvested on the beach. And this is the new robot right here. I just wet the one arm down just to have a peep at the figure. And gosh, I think it looks pretty good. That is honeycomb with mother of pearl behind it. And this is a knob cone pine cone with a little inlay in the center.
Sir, hey, that's silky smoothie boy. So it's really cool. So not only are you're stoking people out who get their hands on it, but all the people who are looking at following your your progress and your exploits online, that's also, the comments tell the story. People are getting stoked.
Speaking of a story, I wrote a book.
Oh, wow.
I wrote a kid's book.
Wow.
It's not done,
Oh, cool.
but it's getting there. And in fact, I was waiting for spring flowers to kind of get back into making the illustrations for the book, because it's going to be a photo book with the story.
Wow.
It's like 22 pages. It all rhymes, and it's I don't want the story to like get stolen.
Yeah.
Because it's a good story. But even if it did, people don't have my robot, right?
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's the story of this robot on my shirt.
Okay.
Timber Mountain.
All right.
And it's timber is the body, and it has mountain eyes. And it's the story of a tree.
Okay.
A big redwood tree in a forest, and it's like the tree, right, in the forest, the elder tree.
Yeah.
And it gets struck by lightning and falls over in a storm, washes out to sea in the river, and gets stranded away from its forest. Gets found by a woodworker,
Nice.
turned into a wooden robot, and the robot comes to life.
Oh, wow. That's
and
beautiful.
Realizes it's lost and can't find its way back to the forest. So it escapes the wood shop and summons a raven, and the raven realizes it knows the robot.
Oh, cool. Oh, wow.
And because its nest was in its branches, it realizes, because it recognizes this little swirl on its arm,
Wow.
And the robot and the raven agrees to help the robot find the forest. And that's the story, is the journey back to the forest.
Wow. So, yeah, just continuing the theme of spreading joy through your creations, you get that artistic license to tell a completely different story, made up story, but still equally as touching.
Everybody's been telling me since I started making them that they're animated, like they could be easily animated, and I agree. And with the way the heads swivel, you can change the emote without emoting.
Yeah.
And they have a different attitude with how you position them. And so they do really well with the photography, and especially with spring flowers. Like, I want this book to be like a feast for your eyes, right? With every page that you turn, I want it to be just a beautiful image. And I'll show you a picture. I can't show it on here, but when we're done, I'll show you a picture so you can see what I'm talking about.
Great.
Because and all the raven I've made out of ebony, which is this black wood from Africa, and it's all splinters. And the raven look really good. I've had them on my social media.
Okay.
You can see my progress, because I talk about this on the social media.
Right.
But they look really fucking cool. I want this like Tim Burton vibe,
right?
Where it's real life, but the characters aren't.
Yeah.
But they're close enough.
Like a almost like one of those old Tool stop motion videos.
Kinda.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want it to be like, like this clearly isn't real, but like your imagination can picture it walking off the table, right?
Yeah.
And jumping out the window or something, or like running down the street, or.
It might, dude. And when I go to sleep, this thing might be just going Toy Story on us.
This whole thing's a big facade. They build themselves in the shop when I'm sleeping.
Legendary. And so another question that I have is, for you, it doesn't have to be one, but what's the holy grail of one type of wood that you would, give the tip of your pinky to get your hands on? It's rare.
I don't know. I feel like maybe Azalea Exley. I think that's how you say it.
Okay.
It comes from Cambodia, and it has the most unique figure I've ever seen.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And what do you look for in a piece of wood that when you showed me the eucalyptus in your truck, you were showing me some of the features that made it, desirable. What in a wood do you find appealing or useful for your art?
It all depends. If the wood is old, if it's been laying around like a fallen tree, or if it's been floating in the ocean or laying on a beach. There's landmarks and markers that you can look for on the exterior of the wood. You can see stripes, ridges, bumps, indentations,
Yeah.
and that can kind of lead the way in regards to like tell you what it's going to look like on the inside.
Right.
But when you're harvesting wood, the only thing I can relate it to, it's one of the things I can relate it to is, you ever see people that are rock hounds and they find agates and cut them open?
Yes.
And every agate is different.
Right.
That's what wood's like.
Okay.
So I can get a piece of wood and I can think that it's going to look like something on the inside based on what I see on the outside.
Very cool.
And then I can open it up and it could be a turd.
Yeah.
Not a turd, but just not something that's just kind of like a wah-wah.
Right, sure.
Or it can be something that completely blows my mind.
Yes.
Last week I cut open a piece of wood I thought was just going to be kind of fiddleback curl, but it had like 3 different types of figure that ran into each other. And it's crazy beautiful.
Wow.
Like crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
a fingerprint. Everyone is different, and there's probably beauty in all those little differences. You're never gonna find the same piece of wood.
No. Even within the same tree.
Right.
Right? Like, and then what's wild about it too is there's this guy, Derek Kimball, who harvests maple. He specializes in maple. He lives in Oregon, and they have really good maple trees up there. And usually wood most of its character and figure grows towards the base near the roots, and anywhere there's a bend that it'll stress the cell growth, and that's where like good figure grows. But he cut into this quilted tree. Quilt is a type of figure, and it grows in tubes. It's like larger tubes on top of each other that are kind of translucent and really shiny. And you would think like, well, normally that's down by the base, but he found an entire branch of it like 30 feet in the air, and the whole branch was this quilt figure where the rest of the tree had nothing. So there's really no telling where you're going to find the figure.
Yeah.
And honestly, you can go up to a log that you see on the beach that's just flat. Not flat, but no indentations, no ridges, no sign of figure, and cut it open, and it could just be this insane figured piece of wood. So there's really no telling.
Well, that must be exciting, and it kind of always keeps you on your toes. And like Forrest Gump, life is a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get.
It's a sickness, man. And when it storms, my little tingly feelers go off, and I lose sleep over it.
Yeah.
I do. I'll literally lose sleep over the fact that I know that there's pieces that have floated out of the forest and made their way to a beach around here that are just laying there.
Right.
That are either going to get burnt in a fire pit or taken home by somebody who doesn't know what it's like, what they have.
Right.
It drives me crazy.
Yeah.
and I'll often be out at 1 a.m. after work with a headlamp combing the beaches. Yeah. If it's stormed on a day I'm working, I have to tell my wife, hey, I'm going to be late because I have to go look for wood tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honey, who is that guy with the flashlight on the beach? Oh, it's just another tweaker looking for sea glass, honey.
Yeah.
Little do they know.
Yeah.
This guy's digging for gold.
But, you definitely want to stay within the rules of the beaches and parks and stuff. I think here you can take 50 pounds.
Okay.
You're not allowed to use tools.
Okay.
If you can carry it, you can keep it.
Okay. Wow. All right. Well,
Yeah.
that's good to know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sick.
Yeah, they told me if you can carry it, you're not going to turn ahead.
Okay. Yeah.
But if you're down there with a chainsaw, you're not going to get very far.
Getting a winch and the car
Yeah,
and stuff.
if you could go down there with a chainsaw, there wouldn't be a piece of wood on the beach.
Right.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. People would be gathering it up.
Yeah.
Well, Lanny, this has been amazing. So much fun talking with you and getting some insight into your process and, a little bit of your backstory. And I just want to thank you so much for coming and joining me. Is there anything else that you wanted to plug or say? Or
No, I just feel like we could talk for hours. So thanks for having me.
Yeah, well, we'll do it again sometime soon.
Honored, man. No, you opened the door for me to get into the Santa Cruz Vibes magazine, with Brian, and I just am forever grateful.
My pleasure.
Thank
Yeah.
you. It gets the work out, and like I told Brian, like I don't even care if any of them sell. I just want to keep making them. I just want them to get out there and just to keep making them.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, they're fine pieces of work, and I'm sure they're going to continue to sell, you know, and just keep stacking them and keep doing what you're doing. And at the end of the day, you love what you're doing, and it clearly reflects in your presence and in your work. So yeah, just keep it up, man. I'm stoked to see what comes next for you.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate
All
it.
right. Well, that was our guest, Lanny Headrick, complete legend, and I'm so honored to have him on. Thank you all for tuning in, and we'll check you out next time.